Hello, friends. I'm Diana Littlepage Meyer, here to talk to you today about how to capital trust the world in this crazy world with all the crazy things that are going on. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why I made these bookmarks and how I started talking to people about trusting in God. Well, what it was just me being in circumstances and in situations where there just was no hope in the whole world. There was nobody who could help me, and every report I got was bad. That I would never get better, that I would never heal, that I would never have a home, or never have a marriage, or never have a family. And now, when you look at things, it's not just a certain person or certain people that it looks kind of hopeless for. Since 2020, things have gotten kind of hopeless for pretty much everybody in America. So I want you to know that whenever there's no hope in the world, you're in a great place, because there's always hope in Jesus. If you can trust in the Lord, then you know that things will get better, because you start to read His Word, and you will take time, you will make time for His Word, you will make time for prayer, and then you'll take all of that out of church and take it into the world with you. So what I've noticed over the decades of me walking with the Lord, there was a time when I walked with the Lord, but I kept Him far away. Like go to church and tithe and sing the songs and all, and then go home and just live like the world the rest of the week and not really even think about the Lord much. Except for there was one thing where I did always think of the Lord. I was a mom of two daughters, and I was a single mom. And I started watching Fox News, and I was real interested in what kind of a world was I going to leave to my children and someday my grandchildren. And Fox News had on a news report from San Francisco, and it was grown men walking in the streets, marching around in diapers and less, saying, "We're here, we're queer, get used to it." And it broke my heart. It just broke my heart that they were so boldly in rebellion against God and all of the what the Bible talks about, what is decent and what's not. And I didn't want my kids and my grandchildren to grow up in Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, look, it's Leroy. He's going to come and join us. Come up here. Come on. Good boy. You'll be able to see him in most of my videos. And I'm always telling kids when I give them bookmarks that they can see videos of Leroy. So I want to make sure he gets in here today. I talked to some kids at the grocery store today. Anyway, going on with my story. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. And I was just like, I don't want that here in Texas, because that was California, and it was like 1988. No, wait a minute, 91. It was probably 92 or 3. And I had two little girls. One was in swim lessons, the other one was in a stroller, and I was pushing her around while the first one was taking the swim lessons. So I'd take them out to eat after that. And there was a man at the restaurant where I took the children to eat, and he said, "Vote for me for sheriff." And I was concerned about this, what I had just seen on the news that morning. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. And then the other thing that really upset me, and I was hoping wouldn't be thought of as something normal or something okay, was abortions. And that was mainly because, I was dropped off at an abortion clinic when I was pregnant with my daughter. The man paid for them to do that, and I sat there and I prayed, and I was like, "God, would it be a boy or a girl? If I don't kill my baby, would it have blue eyes or brown or hazel? God, what would this child be when it grows up? If I don't kill my baby, what would it be when it grows up?" And I just prayed and prayed while I was sitting there, and the person who paid for it had already gone outside. The nurse came to get me, and she said, "Come in here and put a gown on and put your clothes in this locker and keep the key with you on your wrist." And I was like, okay. And I stood there in that locker room, and there were other girls there, And they just started changing clothes, and I was looking there and I was getting madder and madder. And I'm like, how dare they want me to kill my baby? And especially that jerk who got me pregnant, you know. And long story short is I walked out of that Nashville, Tennessee abortion clinic. They already had their pay to kill my child. And I said, I don't give a flippity flip flip, you fill in the blanks. Whether you lose your money or what happens, I am not killing my baby. I'm not doing it. And I'm going out across the parking lot like that. But praise God, that baby's 35 years old now, and she's awesome. And I have grandchildren through both of those girls. And it's just, I'm so happy that I didn't do that. And it breaks my heart that here we are in 2022. And the same things that I was fighting against at that time, I asked that candidate who gave me the card and said, vote for sheriff, vote for me for sheriff. And I said, well, how do you feel about, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. He said, not in Texas. And I said, well, hey, what about abortion? Don't you think a woman ought to have a right to have an abortion? And he said, I just don't feel like it's the right thing to do. And I said, you have got my vote. So what I mean is, I told him about the two issues that were big on my platter, and I said, I didn't say I'm against abortion or I'm against gay rights. I just said, how do you feel about it? You know, so I didn't lead him on. So from that time on, and I was like 26, 27 years old, I started backing candidates. I started raising money for them. I started making phone calls for the candidates that I interviewed like that I knew would vote for Christian values. And I'm asking you, Christians, trust in the Lord for everything, and take it out from the church and bring it into your political views, bring it into your conversations whenever you talk to candidates, and make sure that the candidates that you're voting for are voting for Christian values when they're in the legislature or wherever they are. And it goes from school board to judges. Hold on a minute, I want to get my bookmark. Oh, it's in my pocket. Sorry, y'all, it was in my pocket. And I want to remind you, pray about everything. Now, praying is not some big deal like you got to sit around and go, Our Father, who is in heaven. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. You can just be like, God, I need you today. I back out of my driveway and I say, God, thank you for giving your angels charge over me, over my girls, over my husband, over this property I'm leaving and the property that I'm leaving in. So I just thank the Lord and I go and do my thing. I'm mostly asking for wisdom. And I just thank him for the favor that goes out ahead of me and the mercy and the blessing that comes up behind. And, you know, you don't have to make prayer some big deal, but it's a constant conversation with God. And everything you do, trust in the Lord. Take everything to him. If it's important to you, it's important to him. And remember, the whole thing is all about GB2G. It's glory be to God. Trust him and expect something good to happen to you today. I'm Diana Littlepage Meyer. God bless you.